Good morning. Good morning and blessings to everyone on this happy, thoughtful Tuesday. Yes, happy, thoughtful Tuesday. It's wonderful to be here and good morning, good morning. And good morning, Erica, my sister. Good morning. Yes. And it is a good morning. Good morning. I got something. You know, when you in this, you can't tell which like you can look in the mirror and see better. All right. It's the other eye. I have a little spot. So I just need to leave it alone. That's what I need to do, is leave the spot alone. But because I see it, I want to go for it. So good morning. I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. Thanks for joining. I know, right, Erica? Thanks for joining Morning Tea with Regina on this thoughtful Tuesday. Yes, and I did say Tuesday this time. So I just want to, good morning, Rose. Good morning, my cousin. I just want to kind of do a little recap of what we talked about yesterday. I started off talking about we still leading self, and I talked about adding value to ourselves. We must see ourselves as valuable in order to add value to ourselves. And that's really important, that we see ourselves as valuable, right? And I talked about the man in the mirror. And Michael Jackson, I mentioned dating myself because Michael Jackson wrote a song about the man in the mirror, starting with the man in the mirror, asking him to change his ways. But one of the things I shared about changing our ways is us dealing with ourselves. But when we look at the man in the mirror, one of the things we have to know that what we see, and if we see something and we have thoughts about what we see, then we have developed an opinion about ourselves. So looking at the man in the mirror is very important, but having a right attitude about the man, the woman in the mirror. So when I mention man, I'm talking about in general, but having the right attitude or thoughts towards ourselves is very important. So if I go to the mirror and I have a very poor thought about myself, then guess what? I'm going to also follow that through with the behaviors and actions. So how I see myself is very important. If I see myself as ugly, retarded, dumb, one day I was in a conversation with someone and it seemed like every time she talked about something, she had a negative description for herself. Now she had her own business, but every time she talked about something with me, she had a negative opinion about herself. And I observed it. And I just had met her. But it was like, wow, that's how we can sound. Every time we can have a negative thought towards ourselves. And that's important to know. So how we see ourselves is how we're going to behave, which is going to produce an action. If I don't see myself as worthy, then guess what? I'm not going to show up as worthy. So before I can value anyone, I have to value myself. Self-esteem is one of the most powerful, significant keys to who we are. It's powerful. It's the image, it's the thoughts, good morning, Murray, and how I see myself, and then how I'm going to act out myself. And that has happened. So just think about it. If you're dating someone and they're being nasty and mean to you, and you say, well, you know what, this is some behavior I'm not going to put up with, but you continue to put up with that behavior, guess what? You see yourself in that way. That's why that person is able to get away with it. So when we say, well, you know, he did this and he did that. Did I do that to myself? I remember one time I went to my pastor, and I may have shared this story with you guys already. I went to my pastor and I said to him, I said, I was crying. I was crying so, I mean, tears just drenching down my face and about what someone had said to me. And he said, he popped me on the forehead. He said, why did you do that to yourself? And walked away. Now I'm angry with him because he said that I did something to myself. But I had to really think about what he said to me. And as I grew in understanding, good morning, Kelly, about me, I grew in understanding that I was doing these things to myself. So what that person said to me, I did far more damage to me than that person did. I did far more damage to me than that person did. I hope we can grasp that. What people say about us, they say it, and it can hurt. But what we do to ourselves, more damage. We cause more damage to ourselves than what others can do to us. Because we have the power. We do have the power. Now I understand we may have to seek help. And we do need to seek some help sometimes in order to be good to ourselves. So let me just share some tools. I shared also yesterday that if we are at a 4 in our self-esteem, we're only going to climb potential to a 3. So what can help us to kind of break out of this? Well, one of the things that can help us is guard our self-talk. How we talk to ourselves is so important. How we talk. I mentioned that about the lady, but how we talk to ourselves is so important. So guard our self-talk. You know, I remember when I was growing up and one time my dad heard me talking to myself and he said, "Are you talking to yourself?" Well, don't answer yourself, and we laughed about it. But guess what? We all talk to ourselves. We talk more to ourselves because we are more with ourselves 24 hours a day. So we are talking more to ourselves than anybody else. So guard self-talk. It's so important that we guard our self-talk. Another thing that we can do to help ourselves is not compare ourselves to anyone. Don't compare ourselves to anybody, and that is really a hard thing to do because we live in a society that is full of comparison. We compare homes. I shared that before. We compare the way we build. We compare our faces. We compare everything about ourselves. You are your unique self. Nobody else can be you on the earth. Nobody can be you. Now, there are things that we just can't change about ourselves. I can't change the place where I was born. I can't change my parents. I can't change the family I was born into. There are things that I can't change. But there are things that I can change within my power. And I have the power to not compare myself to anybody. And that can be difficult. But it's up to me to make sure that I'm doing what I say that I'm called to do on the earth. And the best way that I have found in finding out things about me too is the next one that I'm going to share is adding value to others. The best thing that we can do, good morning, Charlotte, is add value to others. When I was going through my healing process, the Lord laid up on my heart to start serving others. Serving others. And it was a scripture. I'll try to bring that back tomorrow. I think it was in Isaiah 61 or 63. I have to look it up. Or it couldn't have been even Isaiah 58. So I'll look that up. But it was talking about fasting, serving others. That was really a new concept because when we think about fasting, we think about fasting from food. Some people fast from television. Some people choose to fast from from reading certain things, just to get their system clean. But it was always food. Food is big. We fast from food. But this time God was asking me to do a fast of serving. That was powerful. But I said to the Lord, how can I possibly fast serving others when I'm not really feeling good about who I am? Just a mess. I had lost a lot of weight. My mind wasn't right. And I did. I started serving. I got involved in Meals on Wheels. What a blessing to help distribute meals, package the meals, and then go out and provide meals to those who were homebound. I didn't know how much it was going to bless my life, but it blessed my life. And I was so happy that I did, particularly when I would go and some of them had porches, you know, the old porches that you walk on. And that's how my house was, the house I grew up in. And so I would go to the door and knock, and the elderly woman or a guy would say, baby, I'm so happy to see you, because I don't get visitors. It's just so nice what you doing. And they were so grateful. It just blessed my heart so much. So me doing a service was adding value to others. Because you know what it was doing? It was taking me and my mind off of me. I was no longer the center of what was going on. I was making somebody else the center. See, when we got us on our mind all the time and it's all about us, guess what we're doing? We're making us the center. People hurt our feelings. You know, we can get upset. We're doing the negative self-talk. And then we're going to do to people what they do to us. We become cold-hearted, unforgiving. All of that, all about me. All about me. But here, focusing on someone else. So add value. To come out of that, add value to someone else. And the next thing that we can do is to make sure that we are not putting self-limited beliefs on us. Having self-limited beliefs. You know, we can all have self-limiting beliefs. But God has so made us so wonderful. And having self-limiting beliefs, it only again put a ceiling on what we can do. It puts a ceiling on our potential. So here's a quote by Charles Schwab. And I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but it's S-C-H-W-A-B. He says, when a man puts a limit on what he will do, he places on a limit on what he can do. That's powerful. When a man puts a limit on what he will do, he places a limit on what he can do. You know, I remember during when President Obama was running, he said, yes, we can. Yes, we can. I mean, he really started driving that. That was his campaign slogan when he first ran. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do anything. And another thing that can lead to us doing things that we really want to do on the earth is doing the right thing, no matter how hard it is. Do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. Doing the right thing lead to right motives, lead to having right thoughts. And you can't base what other people do to us in order if we're going to do the right thing. So do the right thing. Do the right thing. And another thing we can do for ourselves is get away from insecure people, making those our inner circles. If they're insecure and they're pulling you down, I'm not saying that we can't bless them. I'm not saying that. But when you have an ideal and they constantly saying something that gets what you want for you, guess what? We need to create a new circle of people. We really do. People who value themselves and know that they can do anything on the earth. Anything in the earth. Anything in the earth. So I just wanted to bless you with that. I'll continue this discussion. I am so excited about being here. And you know what? Believing that I can do this. Because there was a time that I did not. I was thanking God this morning. You know, God gave me a vision. And the vision was beautiful, honestly. And I didn't know how God was going to really live out this vision, or how I was going to live out this vision in my life that God had given me. But what I have become to understand more importantly about the vision is that God believed in me. He believed in me before I was even created. That was powerful. He believed in me. He bet on me. And that's another thing that I want to encourage. Good morning, Giovanna, Lady G. That's another thing I want to encourage us, to believe in ourselves and bet on us. Bet on you today. And I'm going to encourage you, while you're betting on you today, I have a workshop that is coming up on May the 18th. Check me out, reginachall.com. www.reginachall.com. That's my website. Go to my website, and the workshop is called Are You Feeling Stuck? Winning Strategies to Move Forward. Yes, winning strategies to move forward. Let us move forward in our lives today. Let us not hold ourselves in captivity. I bless you this morning, and thanks so much for listening to Morning Tea with Regina. And if the Lord willing, I will see you on Wonderful Wednesday. Take care now.